Our first speaker is Peter Van Paardenberg, the lab director of Ink and Switch. I had the pleasure of meeting one of Peter's colleagues at the last meeting, and he's going to talk to us today about how to do ambitious research. It seems like an appropriate time. For those of you who may have been with us yesterday, probably heard Peter asking many thoughtful that are slightly more up to. I'm Peter. I'm with Ink and Switch. We're an industrial research lab. I have a background in industry. I've built cloud software, media players. Used to go out to sea sometimes on the
Hey, man. Hey.
Good morning.
Yes, very good morning, thanks to you.
Good. Good to hear.
Are we half an hour or an hour today? Just to plan.
Because it's earlier, we can be an hour or
Okay.
58 minutes.
Okay, cool. We have a lot to get through. This is amazing. It's really, really amazing. So in addition to those three things, I just need to ask you, the naming convention, actually, my guy just got in touch. Let me just tell him to prioritize exporting with those names. Hello. Please do 1410.
It can be another convention. The one thing that's important is that's the convention. It must stay at least stable enough with zero creativity until that demo is done. Oh,
that's fine. I'm totally happy with that convention. So here's the second thing. I think you said in your Slack post that the name has to end with this, but it doesn't have to start with this. What I'm wondering about is, actually, hang on, I'm going to do a WordPress test because you talked about that as well, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to upload those. I'm not just going to call those. I'm just doing a May 28th. Oh, it has to be always the same WordPress location. So it has to be a page. It can't be a post. That's okay. Just changing the name to my name. And now let's see if it accepts just JSON, just drag and drop. Where are they? Just so. Yeah, okay, so it does. That's all I needed to know. So it is possible if I modify because author already has upload to WordPress.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be able to get the guys to modify so it keeps uploading to the same location with the same file names.
Yeah, I'm not so maybe because it probably is feasible and not sure it necessarily matters. So WordPress has an API, so maybe it's possible to list like what are the last uploaded things. That being said, so far what I've seen with WordPress is, again, you don't get the raw JSON. You get a cute web interface with a download JSON or download attachment.
But that's fine. We take these two JSONs, so we zip them.
Yeah, but it's the same problem. Like it doesn't matter. Can you get a link to the direct file, not to a download button?
Okay, let's see. Okay, so now I'm publishing. I only put one JSON up so we don't waste time. Oh, it doesn't actually show. Okay, that's not even a download button. That's weird. Desktop JSON. Okay, glossary.json, just for the sake of testing. Okay, sorry, you're not allowed to upload this file type, but if I compress them before upload, I call it JSON archive.zip. If the system, sorry. Okay, so now I'm going to see if I can get you a direct link to the download.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to give it to you here, and this I'm giving it to in Zoom. Yeah, that is a direct link.
So let's see. Chat link. Yes, it looks like. And in that file, okay. These totally different things, but okay.
Yeah, it's just to see. It's not what we've been working on. It's not even the right names, but
yeah,
do they come across in a manner that's extractable?
Probably.
Probably, okay.
Because so I need to try to see client side if I can fetch them from the experiment itself. Nope. Because the website it doesn't allow course your WordPress instance.
I actually don't know what that means.
Yeah. I'll see if there are. So basically, you can as a human, but not as a machine running from another server. The problem is when you go on the web page, let's say companion app, then it looks like it's a machine, even though there is a human controlling it. So the idea is that people can't steal images that you host on your website. They must go on there to see them, which makes sense. There is also some security. People don't look like they own your website or whatnot, but it also prevents us in this situation that they can directly use your content again as if they were stealing your images. So I put a link to a potential plugin you might want to check and eventually install. What you can do, the safest way, if you want to make sure that nobody else, but let's say us, instead of putting stores and whatnot, you can say that you allow course only for that URL, or rather that domain. So that would be this domain. And this way it means if someone else with another WordPress site or whatever, they try to, again, stealing on the web is a bit of, don't even know what it means. But anyway, technically speaking, that's the kind of plugin with this domain, at least, that must be allowed in order for me to get the zip file directly. Otherwise, it's indeed direct link, you're right, but a human must click on it and thus eventually click on it, upload it, and I think it misses the point which you're trying to make, to say that I save in Author, I put the headset on, and it's there.
I've given you a second link. In this one, I put the JSON and I just pasted it in as though it's HTML. Is that extractable or not?
It's not unextractable, but it will probably have a bunch of side effects that
weird characters and so on.
For example, it's very risky, so I would advise against it. It's not impossible, But there might still be the same problem. There might still be course issue there. So I'll do a quick check. So in the console, I open the console on the companion page. Yeah, it's the same problem. It's the same problem. It's not course enabled. So yeah.
Right. Okay.
But I think we're spending time on this, which
No, I agree we should move on. Absolutely. I'm just having a quick look at my settings because if this was a relatively quick thing, it would be for other people. If it isn't, it won't be. So it was worth having a look at it.
so it really is a like per website configuration. It's
Oh.
not a traditional.
Blogs obviously have feeds, RSS or Akismet, not Akismet, Atom or RSS feeds, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't we access this through that?
Yeah, but you still need to get the content out. The feed might help to point to that link. It would be useful indeed. Say, hey, there is a new post with that new attachment, for example. Check it. But in order to actually get the content,
Yeah, but an RSS reader can actually a WordPress site, I believe, can choose to have the entire post in the RSS feed. It doesn't have to be
but it still won't be course enabled.
No. But an RSS reader an RSS feed has to be course enabled, otherwise it's not a feed. It's designed to be read by an API, right?
It is. But I mean, feel free to try.
Yeah, I think if I find the setting here, it should it should be quite easy. Hang on a second.
But an RSS reader is not a web page, typically. It might be ignoring course. It might just the same way when you click on the link, or if I use wget, which is a tool I use to download files from the web, it does not have course because it doesn't look like a web page. So a feed reader is not, again, typically a page. But if you get a link, I can try. I think if I just add feed at the end of your WordPress, I'll have the...
Oh, you looked that up too, huh?
Yes. No AI involved.
I used good old-fashioned Google.
DuckDuckGo. Because Google tends to add AI in its result too now. So I got the feed. Let's see if I can get the content of the feed from, again, the companion is not from the reader. No, same.
It cannot. No, but no. I'm not saying. Okay. An RSS feed. The feed. Okay. So are you getting the feed?
It's the same course problem. For the feed itself, I cannot check it. If I click on it, I see it, but not from the web page of the companion app.
But how can an RSS reader work then?
Give me an example of an RSS reader, please.
Blogger was one. Hang on.
Yeah, so there is a backend. It's not from the front end. So on the back end, they can have wget or they can ignore security issues.
Well, I mean, there's reader. There's so many RSS readers. I don't understand this. There's a very odd. Yeah, they are native apps.
So then it's not a browser. That's the difference.
Okay, hang on.
So the idea there is that it will be consumed from the web page that somebody will open on the Vision Pro, right?
So there are browser RSS readers.
Yes, but then they are dedicated app. They are not web pages. There is a backend that will probably ignore course or whatever.
Okay, right. Okay, fine. We've done enough for that for today. Let me just remove from my request the auto upload to JSON, JSON to WordPress, because that's.
Well, if you add the course and you put either my domain or any domain, that should work. Again, it's a normal, not issue. It's a normal security barrier, let's say, for websites. So,
Okay. All right. Okay, can you give me your domain, as in how it would look to this, please?
I put that in the chat. I put a link to a plugin for WordPress.
Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah, and below there is domain,
Okay.
and then companion.benetwood.fr.
So that's something. Okay. I'm going to do that after our call, because that needs to be done by my hosting company. Right.
I don't know. It depends on if you can install plugins or not, basically.
Okay. Let me just see if I can do it now within like a minute or so. So, okay. I go to not that. Enable course. Is it just called course plugin? There's a lot of text on this.
It's called Enable Course. That's the name of the plugin itself. So.
Okay. Cool. Add plugin. Upload plugin. Oh yeah, it has to be still compressed. That's a weird thing with these things. Hang on a second. Okay. Activate. And then copy your domain.
I don't know if it's the domain or the URL. So it should, I guess, in the in the configuration of the plugin, it should show hopefully an example if there is HTTPS in front or not, basically.
There's something odd here. Okay, I don't have a save option at the bottom. Let me just show you the screen. Why is the save?
I think you need to remove one line of the issue. Yeah,
you're right. You're right. Okay, good enough for now.
HTTPS, not HTTP. Yeah, the stars is less safe, but okay.
Do I do double slash as normal?
Yeah. And then let's try this, and if not, we'll put the stars at least for tests.
A what?
It's okay. I think it's okay now. Let me double check. Console.log. Yes, it works actually. So, and that's, you can, I'm not a security expert, but that means that's pretty safe. Like somebody, in order to hack your WordPress, if that were a way, they would have to hack my website first. Which, no offense, but I don't think any of us have important enough information that is not public to be worth this amount of crazy effort. So I want to say basically adding this plugin and adding course only for my domain is rather safe. But I invite you for all the, how do you say, record to check the consequence of all that. But I think it's not a problem. So it's done the right way is my point.
So the way it works interface-wise now, currently, you're in the map, you go all the way down here, then it'll export because it's testing. What I think I'll do here is add basically here. Okay, that's for me to do offline. All right, fantastic. So yeah, that's really useful. I don't know how far and how and when and all of that, but it means that if this can work nicely from author, we should have in spatial scaffolding means through which someone can enter a URL to where to expect to find the JSON, right? That can probably be part of the URL now.
Not sure I follow. So somebody who is in author, they're working, they want to see their content in XR. So here, when you add to WordPress, I guess you have to add your WordPress URL and the credential. Because I imagine if I install author, I'm not going to publish to your WordPress, right?
Yeah, well, there is a problem. When I make a new post, it has a new URL.
Mm-hmm.
That's why uploading just the raw JSON would have been better.
Yeah, that's for you to figure it out. I don't know in WordPress if you can add like attachment with a fixed URL. I don't think it matters so much because, for example, one way that could be done is that when you export the map for WordPress, the only use case right now is to view it in VR, right?
Yeah.
So I think what is safe to do is I'll make an example. Is that in the chat? So here you gave me an example of a URL. I gave you so Q2 map, I guess we call that. So typically, what you would do. So right now you would open up, no, forget that URL. You would use that URL and you would see the content of a map that we have already manually uploaded. But then what you would do is you would do show file at the end, and then there you'd put the URL that you gave me. So something like this, which won't work right now. At least it shouldn't. But then my point is that if you know the URL that will come out of WordPress, let's say the end of the upload, then you can open that URL straight up, or you can share that URL or use HMD link or whatever. Give that to the person who just exported, because that's what you expect them to want. Like, okay, I uploaded the file, now what? The next steps when the file is uploaded is like, show me the content in XR. So I think sharing such a URL, which is basically the combination of both, is what we expect.
Okay, let me think about that because there's some steps there. There are some steps there. Okay, so shall we go to the 3 items on the proposed agenda then?
What? You mean following the agenda that we suggested for a meeting? Sorry, I need to process.
I apologize for going off expectation. Yeah, I mean, there's basically just three things I would like to look at.
Yes.
And how do you feel about those three?
Well, the first two, so let me go back actually, and feel free to, I'll read them aloud. Closer to spawn head, so that's a minute it should take. Slightly darker background and no black outline should be 5 to 10 minutes. So all that will be good before I have to run. The last one is the one I'm worried about. So the selection angle. And for this also to be sure, I'll ask you to put on the headset, show me the problem so that I understand and I don't like speculate about what the problem is.
I updated the vision last night to 2.5 or something. So at least now it's up to speed. And of course, we expect a new release, at least a beta, in the next, what am I saying? Next 2 weeks.
I suggest not to update it automatically if we have to do a demo, because if it breaks the day of the demo, that's not great.
This is true.
It should not. And by the way, while you load, Brandel and Ada at Apple are checking the keyboard input.
Oh, okay.
There is, my understanding, it's not a bug. It's like it's just not implemented. They don't consider that you can type while in WebXR or in VR on the web. So that there is like 0.001 chance that would be workable for the demo in 2 weeks, but even like by the end of the month, the year even. So I would not consider typing there as something we can do for this project.
Okay, first thing, the distance. If you look at my hand here, this is my hand stretched out. I think whatever the distance is now, we should halve it.
Okay, so let me. So I made a filter just for visual meta for the map.
Okay.
So now,
cool.
If you refresh, it should be half the distance.
This is, pardon my French, fucking amazing. Yeah, that's perfect. This is a comfortable reach. Perfect. Okay, remove the
Can
black.
you try to grab one, please? Yeah.
The angle seems to be if the hand is like this, but the hand is always at an angle. So I think you should just play with the percentage. This, if you can. I don't even know how that's behind the scenes. I mean, this is so smooth. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. You know, at some point, we probably need to be able to select, and of course, we'll need the rings, but also just select and keep it selected. So I don't have to hold it to see those lines.
What we can potentially do.
They are actually always shown, but very thin. That's interesting.
Yes, they were not actually. Yes, they were not. They were the same color as the background, so that they were still there, just kind of hidden.
So simple, so cool, so powerful, so impressive.
So okay, let's do the other easy one. So we did the depth. Now you were mentioning the outline.
Remove the outline and make it darker by a few percentage points. If you have a hex color, I can give you a hex color in return.
Yes, you can give me a hex color. So we're removing the outline.
Okay, so
what also is we can consider is a bunch of rings for this kind of property, namely that one would pass, let's say, these text snippets or those nodes of the network through rings to add outline, remove outline, change color, all this kind of things, the text property, basically.
Yeah, cool. Okay, that's a suggestion for color. You can still see my normal Mac screen, right?
Yes, I did see that at some point, but I'm trying to check. You put it in the chat, yes, okay. So, okay. So no more outline. The color of that you shared here is for what exactly?
Background.
Background. Okay.
Oh, you don't have to change it. This is, can you still see my screen?
Yeah.
This is completely legible. There's nothing wrong with this. Don't need to make it dark. This is absolutely fine. This is really good. Two questions. One that I didn't write down, the cube on the wrist. I think to match this one, do you think you can make the cube opaque, no transparency at all?
So so just to clarify also all this, when I take deep breathing like this, it's
I know what it is. I know what
Yes.
it is.
No, you don't actually. That's why I'm saying it.
Yes.
Okay, let's play the game. What do you think it is?
I think it is potentially a bit stressful.
No. Well, yes, it is correct. The stress then comes from how do I make sure this is exactly what you want for this demo, but it doesn't break the other demo.
Exactly.
Because changing the cube is no problem. I mean, I still need to remember how I named the cube, which actually I forgot. But the problem is, if I change the cube now, and it breaks some of the older demo, it's not a big deal, but I don't like it because maybe like Peter is like, what if we were to do this crazy thing on the cube? And like, yeah, cool, we do this. And then it's broken and I don't know why. And it's because changing the color changed another behavior. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about, how I can like, again, be free here to tinker, being isolated enough that it doesn't break the rest. So that's what the deep breathing is for. So the cube, that cube, I have no idea where it comes from. So wrist, I guess I'll search.
Don't mind me, I'm just having fun in XR.
So wrist attach, yes.
The thing about this that's so beautiful is it works so well. This is really, this interaction is a polished product. Because look, boom, boom, right? There's no false positives, there's no issues, there's no bullshit. It just works all the time. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So So the cube is called other box.
Other box. Okay. Hello, other box.
Get element by ID here. Other box. And I guess the opacity should be 1. So please refresh because you need to try, because this one, since I don't have the viewer hands.
Ah, wonderful. And they have 2 different colors, so it's not only the shape, but the color. Oh no, look, I moved that out of the way.
Do you want to explain me a bit more for the angle?
Yeah. So, okay, okay, so here I'm going to touch hypertext, pinch, and it immediately goes down and to the right. So if I now, yeah, and also my hand has to unnaturally twist this way for it not to go funny. If I have a natural hand movement, I'm going to take this one, has my touch. Natural hand movement, just check it about. It goes a little bit back. So whatever axis this is should probably be pushed positive.
So, but try to take, for example, hypertext and hyperlink on top of each other, roughly. Thank you. And I guess you want one, let's say, hypertext. You want, please don't do more stuff, because
No, it does seem that they are consistent in their angling. That's all.
yes. But if you pick one, pick any a long one ideally, because then we see the tilt better. It's roughly the idea is indeed when it faces your palm, so that also when you pinch is as readable as possible. So it has to be. It is consistent. It's not random. There is no noise there. But I think what you're saying is, if you take 2 of them, let's say hypertext and hyperlink, what you expect is kind of billboarding while you pick it.
I expect to be able to naturally have my hand more like this, not straight on like that, because this is a more natural thing. That this is quite, you know, when you start twisting, you feel it in your arm here, right? So I expect to, sorry, just
So,
to when I pinch here, I don't expect it to slap there.
okay. Pinch it the way you want it to pinch, not the way it's readable. And then, yeah, so no.
Yeah, no, just tell me when to stop. What do you want to say?
So pinch the like spatial hypertext the way you want to hold it, not the way it's readable. Right. Okay. So it's even which way? Just stay hold of it the way you want to read it, not the way it's readable now.
Okay, the angle here is funny, but
okay.
Can you constrain this axis so it doesn't go up and down? It's always aligned with the horizon, with the X.
So this is, we go back to the previous thing about the cube and the deep breathing. That
Yes.
would probably break a lot of things. So if we do this, we need to make sure it's let's say for this exploration, not for all the previous ones. And in that case, then we can just play with whatever angle. We can have some kind of billboarding again, but at least on one axis, like reset basically the some axis we can.
Right.
Well, can we actually?
So this is amazing, and I think for the rest of our time now, we should probably look at the annotated bibliography status.
Sure.
Yeah, because what you've done here is amazing. My interpretation of what you just said there is First of all, if Dini, you and me agree that this grabbing angle thing is a priority, then we'll do it on the core, and hopefully and check earlier systems, and in the future we'll stay there. Otherwise, we do it just on this.
What we might be able to do, because I thought about it just now, is so the architecture right now is that you have your virtual hands and then you add components on it. And one of the components is when you pinch close to a target, you grab it. It sticks to your thumb and index, basically. And that has a certain angle. What we might do is like we remove that component entirely and we put a new one called exploration on pinch rotation, for example, because I do think it's interesting. So I'm not against that at all. I worry that it breaks everything. But if we remove that component and make a new one, say a Q2 angle of wrist rotation explorations, then we can do indeed some complete billboarding, partial billboarding. Because if the person, one of the assumptions here is that if you pick a text, you don't even read it anymore because you picked it knowing what it is. But maybe it's not the case. And if it's not the case, you definitely want to be able to read while you hold it. And then the rotation, the angle matters. And also there is indeed, when you release it, you want to release it where you want it, not just the location, but the rotation. And if you have to somehow, if it's basically physiologically painful, it's not what we want. So, but I think maybe removing the component to replace it allows us to explore without breaking everything. So I'll make a new. So here, that was the visual export map meta exploration. What I can do is make a new one called Q2 JSON wrist rotation is plural. And here I'll suggest that we have wrist attached, and so you have pinch primary and pinch secondary. And we would remove those. It might still break everything, so it is a big deal, basically. And they are stuck on the hands. So right hands, left hands. So remove attribute pinch primary. Remove attribute and I'll give you a link for this. And normally, if you go there and you try to pinch at stuff, it won't work. It's just to show basically that that's the path we might take in order to explore this without breaking all the other demo.
Excellent. So you probably know, but on our Future Text Lab, on the XR page, authoring XR, hang on. I put up all these links so that they can easily be accessed on the headsets.
Yeah. As long as people understand that they might stop making any time because we're working on them, I don't mind.
Yeah, right. So where are you with the reading a PDF and writing in a, yeah, where are you with that?
So the big problem last week was that
keyboard.
I think most of it worked, even though it was a visual mess rather, and a step-by-step mess. But the different ways to do things were there, except mostly the input of text on the Vision Pro. because I rely mostly on a physical keyboard because I like it, which works on the Quest, but not on the Vision Pro, which we discovered right there and then. Since then, we know, and as I was mentioning while you were setting up, not going to be fixed by Apple, most likely. Maybe fixed, maybe, again, maybe next month, maybe next year, maybe never.
What about speech?
So speech is there, we have exploration there.
Do we have access to the Apple Vision native speech to text to use as an input for that?
Yes, we did. So let me see if I can find that back. We should have the link there, so speech to text.
But also, do you have a link to the environment where I can see just a manuscript and a PDF? So Bina can try it today.
I don't think I've never seen her try anything on the spot.
No, but just give me whatever link you have so I can try it in the...
So please help me find it back. We did exploration. So actually, if you go on Q1, we have the step-by-step demo, right?
Yeah,
so
we do.
We have this. And if I go in there, there is something on speech, audio recording. That's the one we want. There is a link and link with a code. So theoretically, this, if we did not break anything, should still work. Namely, you have a record, and then out of that record, then some text pops out after. And there are some examples in there.
Just adding a link here. Oh yeah, no, I don't mean about the audio notes. I mean the interaction of having just those two things. So she can at least, you know, grab the PDF, put it where she wants, grab the manuscript, put it where she wants.
Wasn't it last week, what you tried last week?
Yeah, but let me have a look again, please, because I think we need to have it ready for today and just have a look to see if there's any obvious tweaks that needs to be made.
So, which one? I think that's what you mean.
Yeah, but without all of the stuff. Okay, so yeah, okay, then this is perfect. But because this is a full rich testing environment, we have a lot of goodies in here. How do you open a PDF? Is it what is it you click on of those references?
It's the left part of the reference, the GXR show file. That's what opens the PDF. So if you take Siren Shapes, you have nothing on the left, so we don't have the PDF, so you don't open it. If you take Wiki and you go a meter to the left of the purple cube, for example, and you left pinch on show file, then you'll get the PDF.
Okay, so we have to have, I'm not sure if we need an opening mechanism like this to show everything. That would be good. But what we really need is to have a space where it's just a manuscript and a PDF. So may I suggest that what we try to do for today is, how much work time do you have on this project before we meet today, by the way, after now?
I don't know, a couple of hours.
Oh, okay. So it's, I just, because we have such an intense day, I wondered if you had to do other things. Okay. But I think
things to do.
Yes. No, okay. So what I think would be really useful is to clean this up for this specific thing. Oh. And by that, let's see if we agree on priorities. Number one, hide the ranks and hide the icons for tagging.
Wait, because we have 10 minutes left. So what I'm doing now is I'm calling it week 2, and I'm removing. I'll do it live as you say. So I'm removing the completion.
Which link? Is it the same link or are you making a new link?
I'm making a new link precisely so that I can say yes to whatever you say, regardless of consequences. Basically.
Right. Okay, cool.
So that it's not stressful, it's less stressful.
Less of the breathing.
Yes. So now, so I'll give you a link so that you can check live. Right. So here we are. So you were saying removing the tagging system.
Well, hiding, obviously. Hiding, removing, just for now.
Okay. Yeah. So that's, I removed the icons. What else? You said something before.
Fantastic. The yellow post-its should go.
So that's trickier. The yellow post-its.
Okay.
Because
okay. Let me see if this is easier then, or less tricky. Can you move basically everything to the left so that in front all there is the manuscript, and she can drag whatever PDF to have next to the manuscript. I think that would be great. You don't have to hide more.
So wait a second, because apply to class notes. Element yeah, no, that's not good. So to move
can you maybe move the user starting 90 degrees?
Right. Moving the what?
If you move the user entry position 90 degree, that means everything goes.
Yes, but you cannot touch the user.
Oh, okay, so you have to do everything individually. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about for today, you hide absolutely everything except for the manuscript and you leave one single PDF open.
Okay, and then what do we do?
Then we play with the interaction of moving the PDF, moving the manuscript. That in itself is worthwhile. And then what we can do, keep this one as the...
So we need to open a PDF. So I'll say the Wiki one. Well, do you care for a specific PDF or not particularly?
I don't, but 7 hypertext, because she likes that one. It's a good size paper. The marker.
Okay, so 7 hypertext. Which one is it? We don't have the PDF of it.
Okay. It doesn't really matter then. Sorry, I have one more question. At this point, touching the cube to toggle having the manuscript visible or not, is that part of the system?
Touching the cube. So touching, I don't remember what touching the cube does anymore.
It should toggle seeing the manuscript.
Have a go.
You're a monster.
It's a lot of moving pieces. So
yeah, no, I know.
What is?
No, it's cool. It's totally cool.
So,
I'm going to share and share actually. So for our record, it's.
So I'm hiding the reference themselves, but I worry a bit that Dini and Mark enjoy seeing those references. So if we do an annotated bibliography without those references, somehow that's...
Oh yeah, no, they are important, but not for this interaction. They should be somehow toggleable.
So here, okay, the one I picked is not great because it's not a text proper. It's like a scan of a paper. I should ask Mark for distinction between the two, which paper is text proper and which one is photos of text. Because with photos of text, no highlights. Yep, okay, that's a PDF proper. So you can refresh and you should have just the manuscript and just the PDF. And I'll try to shift that PDF a little bit to the right.
Can you see my screen?
Yep, yep.
Okay. Oh, no, that goes onto a panel now. Okay. Fine. I think this is fine for today. I think it's fine because it gives Dini something useful to comment on. So she can do exactly what I was doing, saying, do this, do that, what do you think? And then you start breathing heavily.
What I'll try to do, if I can, is to have like another version of this one specifically with keyboard rings, speech to text. So some kind of alternative input specific to the Vision Pro.
I'm gonna write something in Zoom here for the I request a smaller PDF and larger manuscript. Okay, I've written 2 requests in Slack, just whatever you think is appropriate. And I look forward to seeing you in a few hours.
Wonderful. Have a lovely day and see you soon.
This was very productive. Should I make this session public?
Sure, no problem with that.
Okay, will do. Bye for now.
Take care.